Unsolicited opinions. Ooh, I love those.
Come on, nigga, let's go. I've been waiting.
All right, we're gonna welcome y'all back to Unsolicited Opinions. We know you've been waiting on it, just like we've been waiting for New Crown Reserve to come out.
I guess I got a question. It's probably too late in the asking since we already started. Is this the beginning episode, season 2, or we just?
Might as well be. Yeah.
So, I mean, it's here. Hey, it's season 2. Unsolicited Opinions. Here we go. Yeah, this is jump off, and we got it's a special one for y'all.
Yeah, we're starting off.
We're starting off like gangbusters.
All right, we see this symbol right here. Y'all need to pay attention to. This is
the logo.
This is the logo for author and entrepreneur Elam King.
Right.
That stands for Understanding the Man. He's an author. He's writing his second book presently, which is called Understanding the Man: Memoirs from a Father. And his first book, which is also available, is exactly the same as the website and the Facebook page, Understanding the Man.
Y'all need to reach out and check these out for real.
And he also has an online course.
But we're gonna let him explain them. We're gonna let him explain these because we will not do him justice if we try to explain these things. Yes, exactly.
Elam King,
welcome
to the studio.
Sir. Thank you for coming. Thank you so much. This is an honor and a pleasure.
Yeah, man,
to have you on this Unsolicited Opinions.
I appreciate you. Listen, the intro, I appreciate you.
I mean, he tried.
You know what I'm saying? No, I appreciate it. And then listen, the hype music beforehand, like that's my joint right there.
That's what we do.
That's how we get. That's how we get it started.
That frame of mind.
That's the grease to loosen those opinions.
Well, that and alcohol.
Okay. I have water in here.
Yes, you do. Yes,
fire water
with ice.
Yeah,
fire water with
ice. Yeah,
man. But thank you so much for even just having me on this platform with you guys. Listen, anytime that fellas can come together and just fellowship and just have a little conversation, I'm always with
it's
that.
It's a good thing, right? It's a good thing, right?
We had a great conversation earlier, and so I don't listen. It's gonna be about an hour and a half, 2 hours. we come from here.
Like
we got an addendum to it.
Right. Yeah.
Hey, and y'all can catch that. ElamKing.com or
please
on
go check that out because it's worth the listen and to watch.
Yeah, on the Understanding a Man podcast, it was great to have you guys on as guests on there and just sharing the information so you guys can catch that at a later time. But I don't even want to. We on the Unsolicited Opinions. They got the dope coasters. You know what I'm saying? I'm having some coaster challenges.
Well, yeah, those are not the go-to coasters. Those are replacement coasters. They're not the go-tos.
Chiefs just lost to the Eagles.
No, the Panthers.
No.
The Panthers.
Not just it was the Bills, but I'm talking. What was it like 2 weeks ago? I think we did we?
No,
not to the Eagles.
Not to the Eagles. You did. We just won our second. We just won our second game Sunday.
Okay.
What's your squad?
Somebody.
You a football
fan?
You're a Chiefs fan.
How long you been a
You from the
Chiefs
Kansas
fan?
City area? No, you
from
already
New Jersey. Yeah,
you from Chucky Town.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, for real. Shout out to Chucky. Chucky was born in Hackensack, New Jersey. How about that? Born and
Lex
raised.
Lugerville.
I didn't know that. Listen, I ran into it watching the commercial.
Right. I mean, but do you think are they on site? Or like, are you going to be able to like recognize places when Chucky running down the street? And you be like,
you know they don't shoot that stuff on. You know I'm filming in the Hackensack. That's on a lot. That's on a studio lot.
Hey man, don't go in on my spot too. Don't go too hard on my spot.
Lot.
I mean, come on. Let's just speak in terms of Hollywood.
I mean, but I do that now because everything's filmed here.
Oh yeah.
So I'll be like, oh, that's such and such.
Right.
I'm watching Black Panther, and I was like, oh, that's the Comedy Square.
Oh really?
Everything. Yeah, a lot of stuff is filmed here in Atlanta. Like a lot of movies.
Yeah, well, a lot of the tax dollars.
I'm about to say, it's the tax breaks.
Tax break.
Yeah, but so again, thank you guys for just having me on, man.
I appreciate you coming on.
Yeah.
You add like some legitimacy to it. Like they ain't just a bunch of clowns. They actually got some with some substance on here now. Let me actually listen to these guys, see what they're saying, or let me listen to him because he's gonna be saying something.
No, and one of the things I do like is that you guys just share what you have to share, but at the same time, you're educating people at the same time. So anytime that men can know that they can express themselves inside of whether it's just man cave, whether it's just one-on-one, I think it's important because we don't do that as men. So
right, and then it allows other men to do the same thing. And if you're able to open up and just be yourself.
Right.
And talk about any subject because I know I've broached them. We've broached them all.
Right.
We'll continue to.
And we'll continue to do that. But I'm over being embarrassed. I mean, I will be embarrassed, but I won't. There's certain things I won't go with. Yeah.
What won't you go with?
I mean, I talked about masturbation on this show. Like,
Right.
yeah. So I mean,
I think we've done everything but politics.
Yeah, that's the arena, and I will get into that, but I will alienate a lot of people. But I don't feel we should alienate a lot of people. So here I go. I'm about to go.
Okay.
Because the people we alienate need to be alienated.
In your opinion.
In my opinion.
That's what I was about to say.
In my opinion, yeah.
Well, I think the thing is that a lot of times men, particularly black men, don't feel like that we have an opinion. So the only time that we let something like that out is maybe Monday Night Football real quick with the fellas. Maybe Sunday night real quickly, at Buffalo Wild Wings or something. But us having conversation and just knowing that, hey, you got feelings, B?
Yeah, I do, man.
Pucci got feelings?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I just bottle them up.
I bottle them shits up. Just drown them with alcohol.
That's what happens.
That's what happens, though. Yeah. But actually, alcohol brings the feelings out most of the time.
Man, listen.
How many times I told you
Don't
I
need to
loved
bring
you?
it out.
Yeah. Some bottle of crown. I love you, man.
You know what? But let me share something with you. I was watching a commercial and it was an Asian couple. It was an Asian man, and then he was so it was an Asian grandfather, and then it was the son that he had, which is the father,
right.
And then it had like a little boy, and it said that he was talking about the father was saying to the grandfather, to his father, hey, listen, when I was growing up, I didn't have a chance to really express myself. I didn't hear the words "I love you,"
right?
But now you say it to my son,
his grandson,
right.
his grandson all the time,
yeah.
and so I'm now learning to say it to my son. Right. I didn't have that from you. Right. Even though I know you love me, I get it now.
Yeah.
But I didn't get a chance to express myself.
The older generation didn't really express their feelings.
Right.
Because they because they couldn't, or they just didn't know how.
Right.
Yeah. They just didn't know how.
I think it's a combination of both. But, they, but the generation right before ours, they were going through segregation and
I was about to
civil
say
rights.
The level of hardcore.
Yeah,
I love you. I'm trying to get you some freedom. Okay?
Right, yeah. Like, did you see them dogs in the streets last night? Because it was tearing their ass up out there.
Yeah, I ain't got time to coddle
That's
you.
real.
Right,
that's real.
And then you had to teach your children the hard and.
But white men were taught the same thing. Because I have white clients as well, so the white men are, it doesn't. So Asian men, the commercial was an Asian commercial.
It's not race specific.
Yeah,
but I'm just saying, as far as black parents, the generation above ours,
where we were, our personal experience,
they were dealing with a lot. Like I've had conversations with my dad, and just the
segregation.
Well, outside of segregation, Jim Crow, all that, it was also talk
about that same racism we see right now. You talk about that racism?
This racism is good, but it's
that
not
overt racism that we see right now.
It's not original. It's not not that thick lasagna sauce.
That different type of racism.
Yeah,
but we can't even be disrespectful because our racism is so. I don't know which one's
but
worse.
Our racism is more technological.
Covert.
It's covert. But I'm just saying, but they had to deal with, he's telling me how cats did everything they could because they was worried about the draft.
We got to worry with the war,
He was like, man, they were just snatching brothers, and they put them in a line, and they be like, you Navy, you Army, you Marines, you Air Force, you Navy, you, and you just gone.
You gone.
And you had no say in the matter. They just lined you up, and they was like, if you flunked out of college or school, the day they were telling you couldn't stay in school, you
18
getting a letter.
years old, you
getting a letter.
Selective service. Did you?
Yeah, because my dad was drafted into Vietnam. He's Purple Heart. If the bullet was a little bit to the left, I wouldn't be here.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah,
how
he got shot in the
thing?
growing at that, so he got shot basically in the balls. Okay,
Right.
so if it was a little bit
He's like
more,
a miracle baby.
I mean, he dropped 5 of us with no problem. So
I'm still getting it in.
Straight shooter.
yeah, it's clearly working.
Yeah, no. Apparently, you're here. Yeah,
Right.
so, yeah.
So yeah,
I mean,
but I mean, we ain't had that stress
no.
that they had. That's
we got a different stress
This is-
though.
well,
man. So
yeah.
I don't want people to. Sometimes we always just like with our kids, we always say, "Y'all don't have it the way we used to.
I'm
We
trying to
don't
get-
have it the way that they used to." We got the internets.
Right.
The internets brings a level of.
are you adding an S to
Yeah,
this?
yeah. Oh no, yes, he is. He is,
You
and,
know what I'm
and
saying?
I'm with him on this. I am with him on this.
internet
It's
adds
more than one?
It's different levels.
It's different
of,
levels to this shit.
Okay, so let's just think about it earlier this week, right? The whole
Right.
stuff with Facebook came out, right?
Right.
So you got to think about it. This is a platform that's giving teenage girls a reason to want to kill themselves.
Right.
Right.
So that's not something yo mama or us had to deal with.
Right.
But now we're looking at it like, oh, you're getting bullied online? Just shut it off.
Exactly.
that
Yeah,
shit
yeah,
off.
exactly.
But they can't
they
turn it off.
can't because
It's designed from an
But that-
algorithm perspective of it's tapping into their
make-
brain of just saying, I want
I
to get
think-
off my phone, but I cannot
put it down.
Now, you know what? It's almost like when I speak to somebody who overeats, right? Okay,
Right.
what? I'm a $170, 5'11", right?
Right.
I don't have any challenges with eating.
Right.
I'm
But
100 pounds heavier than
Fat boy.
You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? But there are people who can't put a brownie down.
Yes.
I don't understand it because I'm like, don't eat the brownie.
Just because you can't understand it though.
Right. So
doesn't
just
mean
like,
it's not an issue.
okay, don't scroll. These guys knew what they were going through. They knew that the data can make people more violent, or that the the algorithm could make me want to stay on here and not love myself more. Now I look at it to a certain degree of just saying, yo, suck that shit up. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like, what are you talking about? Just turn it off. I can look at it like that too.
Because that's our generation. I was trying to get away from that because I said I never want to be the old man, get off my lawn, man. I try to understand the younger generation's problems. Like their social stresses are so much different than our social stresses when we had coming up. Like we had the bullies that just beat you up in the bathroom. They got the emotional bullies now and the online bullies, and it's a different stress.
I'm a little indifferent to that because I used to get picked on when I was little.
Yeah, I did too.
I didn't have the freshest clothes, you know what I'm
Me-
saying?
yeah,
But I learned, now I know that was a stepping stone, because when I wanted to go in different directions that the popular people weren't going in,
Right.
I learned a long time to be like, I can be different,
Right.
and still survive.
But see, that's a skill because a lot of kids
Kids can't do that.
Kids can't do that, and they don't know. They want to fall in line with the pack because
Right.
that's our mentality to be humans. We're pack,
Right.
we're pack creatures.
Right.
Like we survive in packs. That's how we've been perpetuated our species all of these years, is surviving in packs. So you kind of want to fall in line with everybody else.
I'm okay with that. I could be the lone wolf. The
I
black sheep
have
and
gotten
all
like that. As I've gotten older, I'm like that now. Like I don't.
Yeah,
At a certain point in everybody's life, you stop following trends. Like, when you're younger, it's like, I need them Jordans.
Man, there's some people who are 50 and 60 years and 70 years old. They still,
That's
who they are.
That is true.
you know what I'm saying?
That
There's
is-
some
that is
people,
true.
I mean, you got to really think about it. Some people just want that, they want to be that limelight person. Donald
Right.
Trump, in my opinion,
Yes.
he is a limelight person.
Oh,
He's
we
not
we
going to
going
be
here?
quiet.
He got to be seen, though.
He's
does-
got
he
to be seen, and he's like 78.
That's a level of narcissism I can't understand. Like, I understand narcissism. That he has a level of narcissism I can't understand. Like, he has to be. It's all about him. All about him.
But then here's the thing, right? I can say this correctly. Al Sharpton, in my opinion, right? So, dude, like, you used to walk with Martin.
Right.
The level of education bombs you should be dropping on us right now should be on a whole nother level. Only time you show up
I think
is when, like,
I think
every
he's
blue
self-serving.
moon.
Yeah, I think he's
Yes,
self-serving.
He's self-serving.
He's self-serving
You know what I'm
now.
saying? Like, what
He ain't
you
about the
used to
people.
be, and I'm gonna say it
Yeah.
right.
Say it. Say
what
it.
you used to be is not what. Only time we see you is when you standing next to somebody that just the George Floyd
perceived wrong.
situation, and then you're gonna,
right or wrong, or whether perceived or not. He got to be in the forefront.
yeah, like you're not really like. What are you doing right now?
But that's
right today. Today on what is it? What's today? October 11th. What are you doing today?
Getting
Are you waiting
fried-
for the next big
Yeah.
thing to hit the
Getting the fried
airwaves?
died laid to the side. Nah,
But that's one of the major factors that I miss about the Boondocks, because the Boondocks
oh, I missed that show.
told the truth. Like they had a caricature.
Not many
for-
people know about the Boondocks, man.
That
is
Did I
the
send you the meme the
show.
other day where they somebody said shit about R. Kelly and they was like they're actually doing it.
Right,
Yeah, people out there
right.
cheering, they out in front, like free him. Like,
It's the same.
come on, how much more evidence you need?
Shout out to Regina King with your
Oh my
fine
man,
ass.
did she play the hell of that role, man?
Oh, she's
Yeah.
so fine.
Both
And she
roles.
does like at least three of the
Three
voices.
of the voices,
Yeah.
yes.
At least.
She does
So
both the kids.
talented.
She does
Uncle
So
both
Ruckus
the
is my
talented.
dog, though.
She
Uncle
did
Ruckus.
she did get a Grammy though recently, didn't she?
She's so
She got
that thing
something.
is
I don't
so
know if it was
fine.
Yeah, who Regina?
fine. Yeah, Regina King
You
fine.
got a little thing for Regina, huh?
Yeah, I do.
I'm waiting on that Western movie that she coming out with.
What?
Yeah, they got away. It's Idris Elba,
Oh,
Regina.
really?
It's an
Oh.
all-black Western. It's coming out on Netflix. I
Yeah.
want to say it's coming out.
Pucci is the king of
in
the
November.
westerns. He
Oh,
loves
yeah, I
his some
love me
westerns,
some
man. He
westerns.
loves some
Like-
westerns.
I'm not a big Western, you know.
Where'd you get that from? Where did you get that? Like
I
your
really
love
think-
for westerns from?
I really think I'm going to blame it on Mr. George.
Or Clint.
Oh, who the hell is Mr. George?
You-
Not
Mr.
Clint
George-
Eastwood. Not,
Nah, I mean, Mr. George, my mom was a flight attendant, so when I was young,
To be gone,
she'd
right?
be gone, so I had to stay with this family, like my babysitters. So
Right.
They stayed in the same apartment complex. They were older couple.
Right.
Miss Helen, Mr. George.
He, Mr. George, was watching westerns.
Mr.
There
George
you
used to
go.
watch the
Isn't that
westerns.
funny though? How they
Westerns.
influence you for the rest of your life?
Yeah, I'd sit down and watch the westerns with him, which was much better than watching Dallas. And
Oh, yeah,
Falcon
yeah.
Crest
Come on,
with-
Dallas.
Yeah.
Falcon Crest.
Watching
Wow.
Dallas. Miss Helen, if Miss Helen got the remote,
Wow, we just pulled the date stamp out on that.
Golly, that's taking it way
and it wasn't
back.
even
Not
the remote. It was the
Dallas.
remote with the clicker.
Yeah.
Like where you press the button.
You only
down.
had up and down. That was it.
No, this is the one where it had like four.
It was brown.
Actual is a orange brown button.
Yeah, yeah.
The clicker, Joe. It was
I
a
remember
click,
that.
click.
All my
click.
grandparents had the one with the wire still hooked up to the TV. Like you couldn't even go too far with the remote because it had the wire.
We
They
didn't
had
have
clicker.
cable until late in my life, so
And the '80s was
But yeah,
late
Miss Helen
'80s
would
when I had
watch
cable.
Dallas and Falcon Crest, but Mr. George watched them westerns, and we watched them westerns. But you know, Miss Helen was also the one that used to cook
Hollywood
chitlins
has
like
it. How-
every
yeah. Oh.
week, and I'd be like, "Good
chitlins.
Lord, why
I've
I gotta
never-
stay here?"
I don't think I've ever even
stuff
had.
is not supposed to be eaten.
I don't even think I've ever eaten chitlins.
No,
once I
and
found out
don't.
what they were. Yeah,
I have
I
never
never
had
eaten them when
them.
I was younger, and then when I found out what they were, I was like, "Ain't no way
I've
I'm eating them
never
now."
eaten
Yeah,
chitlins.
yeah.
I've never eaten chitlins.
But come on, don't act like you ain't no scrapple though. You
No,
say
I've
yeah,
eaten
but I
Scrapple.
say
I've
well,
eaten
then what's
Scrapple.
the difference? The friedness,
I guess so.
how,
I
how
guess,
hard you
nauseous
fry it,
right now.
how hard you.
I guess so.
And it's
never-
getting about Thanksgiving time, so people gonna have a trough in about a month.
Oh my goodness,
They're gonna
yes.
have a trough.
Yes, I'm about to fast though. I forgot how close we were.
Yeah, we are kind of close Thanksgiving.
Man.
But yeah, but the Boondocks was on point on a lot.
I thought it was. Is it coming back? I thought it was coming
they were
back.
supposed to be, but then you know,
Well, Reese, I mean, not
what's his
I-
name?
I would
Pops
say Reese
died. The
Witherspoon.
person that played, yeah.
But he,
What's his
No,
name?
John Witherspoon. I'm sorry. That
the
is a
reason why that
disrespect.
I do like that though, because it does speak towards how a lot of us as men were raised, right? If you look at Uncle Ruckus, or if you look at the daddy. Come on, man.
Yeah, okay,
Like,
Uncle Ruckus.
we weren't raised as Uncle Ruckus, but
No.
even the grandpa.
But we
or
know
whatever,
people like Uncle
but we
Ruckus.
know people like that. You know what I'm
him.
saying?
Yes,
The whoopings
yes.
and all that. Like
Yeah.
everybody here has had a whooping. I have no idea who
Yeah.
your mama and daddy are. You had a whooping.
Oh, yes.
Right?
Yes.
You had the
On point.
belt.
More than
You had my
once.
bad. You
Yeah.
had
Or the
belt.
switch.
Yeah.
Or the switch. Either one.
Yeah,
I
my
had
grandma,
both.
my
But
grandma
then
thought
watch
she was
this.
Zorro.
But then when they had the episode of the time when they had like O'Reilly was being a little bit more feminized, I guess we could say, and he had like the pants.
Oh, and he
that
had the skirt on?
He had the skirt on, right? And it was a thugnificent.
Yeah.
And he was just like so.
No, it was
no,
Gangsta-licious. It was
Gangsta,
Gangsta-licious.
yeah, Gangsta is making them a little bit more sensitive. But then think about it. That episode might have came out like what, 10, 15 years ago?
Yeah.
Has it been that
And
long?
we were, dude,
Yeah.
you're talking about 05 that
Oh, my
Boondocks was rocking,
goodness.
right? I remember watching Boondocks in 05, so it probably was gone by like 10 or 11.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
like, that was
So
our
you're
show.
talking about, we were looking at it, it's just like, okay, well, dudes would never want to wear dresses in the music industry.
in hip hop, and then
In hip hop, right? And then he had like the wrap around,
Right.
and we're looking at him like, you could never do that in hip hop. Okay.
Okay.
And Thugger was like, watch me.
Watch me.
Okay.
ASAP Rocky.
Okay.
Watch me. Watch me.
So-
Watch me.
You know, and you know, people's preference is what their preference is, but let's just be real. How some people grow up, right? How we all grew up, and now we're watching a transition, and we're just like, word, like being a man, in my opinion, it's kind of like it's something that's getting rubbed out, and that's the part that if I want to be a masculine man, it doesn't mean that I'm toxic. It doesn't mean that, you know, if I don't want to wear dresses or I don't want my son to wear dresses, I'm not taking something away from my child. It's just that at the end of the day, I have a hormone that directs me in one location. People think that it's just a choice. My brain is telling me to be a man. Period.
Right.
Nobody talks about this biologically. They want to act like that it's just a preference. And so when we look at a man with a skirt on, the Mullerian inhibiting substance in my brain is saying this is not something that I can associate with. It doesn't mean that I hate you.
Right.
It doesn't mean that, you know, we can't
You just
work
can't relate.
together.
You just
It
can't
doesn't
relate.
mean that we can't, you know, it just means that I'm not okay with what you're doing, but I can still love you.
Right.
We can still be cool, but by the way, I'm not going to pass this on to my son. I want my son to be a he and a him. I don't want the pronoun to be zero. But if I say that in this society, it could be like I'm hating.
Right.
Right. Well,
And that's not the case.
So you clearly have you seen the Chappelle?
I was
episode?
just about to say that's exactly what Chappelle was saying. That's exactly what he said.
Have you seen the
I've
Chappelle?
only heard of it. But I have not looked at it yet.
He addressed this whole situation.
And that's
whole
the one
situation.
thing. I have a special needs daughter. Boy and girl is difficult for me to share with her. I can't pronoun this thing into her understanding
right.
that no, non-binary and binary, come on. And if I'm not cool with it, it doesn't mean that I hate you. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't. This is what my brain is telling me, not because I'm taught.
Yeah.
Biologically, this is what my brain is saying. So people don't have that conversation. They just think that the whole thing is a choice. Well, look up Mullerian inhibiting substance. And even when you Google it, they change the wording up, the ambiguity that exists there, because they don't want to say that my brain tells me that I'm supposed to act like a boy. And that if I don't see that I'm going to have a problem with it. People think that if I have a problem with it, I got a problem with you and I don't love you and I don't want you to, you know, we can't work together and all that. No, this is not an opinion. This is biological.
Right.
Do your research. But sorry, I can
No,
get,
no,
I
No,
get
you
it.
good. You
get
good.
it.
You
It's
good.
unsolicited
Unsolicited opinions. If you can't come on here and give your opinion, then we don't have a show.
Nobody wants to have
Yeah.
that conversation. They just
No,
want to think
because
like,
it's a tough conversation, and people shy away from that because
saying?
a lot of
And
people
then-
don't like conversation.
People shy away from any difficult
conversation.
Doesn't matter what the conversation's about.
Yeah.
and when you have venues that are out there that can continue to feed you the way that you think instead of evolving towards, there's some white people out there let's just say that there's some people that are on the, I don't want to say on the right. I just want to say that there's some people out there that right now, maybe your parents grew up calling us niggas at the kitchen table, and that's the way you looked at black people, whatever case may be. But there's a venue that's out there that's feeding you only what you look at,
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
and they know it.
They know it.
So
They know
therefore,
it.
and then you can turn this off during the election, and then turn it on during the election to reduce the violence, but then turn it off afterwards. Then we have insurrection. Then we have, it's just, I didn't like that.
No.
I didn't like that. Even though I know it exists, I didn't like the fact that's just out there, and y'all are not more responsible in that area. So,
Well, I mean, that's just manipulation,
Oh, I mean, as well as propaganda.
but I mean, but
there are huge propaganda machines out there right now.
Propaganda
That
is
is
manipulation. That's the whole
I mean,
point.
that's why we still in the medical situation that we're in, and as a country, and
right.
because there's been machines out there. There's other countries and stuff and other entities in this world that don't want to see this country succeed, and they have done stuff to this country to
pretty well.
divide. They've done good. They divide. The old saying, "Divide and conquer." If you can divide a whole nation, then you can conquer them. I mean,
Well, that's why, with myself, people always ask me, why am I doing Understanding a Man? Why am I in this space? And I always say that, when something happens in these streets, we're always quick to be like, you know what? Hey, well, we need to stick together. We just need to, work together. It's enough of us. We have enough power and all this and that, right? I'm not the marcher. I'm not the person that's going to go downtown and march. Right. It's not me. I'm not going to be at the
vigil,
the kitchen counter and sitting there. That's not me. I choose to fight the battle in the back end of, okay, so in order to improve these communities, we have to improve what's a part of a community? Family.
Right.
Well, in order to improve the family, we have to improve, from a heterosexual perspective, right? We have the man and the woman in the home. So let's get that right first. Let's get the man right. Let's get the woman right. Let's just let's bring it back together and say, we know you weren't raised in this area, but this is how this looks, right? Communication. This is what it looks like, not just love. This is what love looks like. Oh, these 5 love languages. Oh, go learn that, right? Before you go hook up with somebody. Right. Oh, okay. You think that it's just going to be about God? Oh, okay. Develop a relationship with God so that he can continue to talk to you. Oh, okay. In the meantime, let's do some counseling and talk to somebody else. See, these aren't the intricate pieces. So my goal is to fight the fight of improving the family. If I improve the family, the community comes together.
Right.
So you go on the front line over there. I'm going on the front line with these couples and trying to say, y'all weren't ever supposed to be together. Okay. Hey, do you know yourself? Because you want a man, but you don't know you, but you want him to understand and know you.
But you don't know you.
But you don't know you. That makes no sense.
Not
okay. Sir, you want to go out here and have sex and just, sow your wild oats and all that, and you think there aren't any consequences to that. Okay. Let's stop this. You know what I'm saying? And let's
reel
just
it back in.
Reel it back in and be like, let's get you first. Right. Let's get you right.
Well, I want to ask you this though. You had a totally different job prior to this. You know what I'm saying? You were regular 9-to-5 corporate America. How'd you make that transition? When did you decide to make that transition?
I did. Okay, so y'all ever heard of network marketing?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Okay, so back in so I always say that God took himself and business, because I've always been in sales. So it was always good. I was selling in the New York Times up in Jersey to people in telemarketing to New Yorkers and people in Jersey. You want to get cussed out?
Yeah, I'm about to say, that's a hard hustle right there.
I was 14, 15 years old getting cussed slam out selling New York Times.
Pardon the interruption.
Yes, I know. I know you're busy right now. Yeah, F me. Okay, yes, and I understand. However, so I was always in sales, and so marketing major, undergrad at Hampton. I'm thinking marketing and sales, they go together. I'm good at it. Hey, it's like a little harp or whatever.
You're good.
So, and so let's just fast forward post Hampton. I, went through some struggles within my marriage, and then somewhere along the round around 35, I was like, okay, so I got this house, and we're driving these cars, and this is what everybody said was going to make you happy. Everybody got their own bathroom. We got basement, square footage, 3-car garage. Oh, y'all are happy. Oh, okay, great. I'm not happy.
Right.
And nobody taught me about my happy. They just said that if I have these things. Then I'm going to be happy. And so y'all are eating dinner together. I'm on the computer typing because I can't even eat dinner with you because I'm trying to make sure that we can maintain this thing in here that I don't like doing what I'm maintaining. And so when I started doing the whole network marketing thing, you just have a bunch of people that just want to go and be great or whatever. And so that's when I started doing something crazy called reading. Okay.
What?
Started doing this reading thing, right? And then by this time they had Audible. So guess what? Set up to win. I can listen to the books because I don't have time to sit down and read
them. Yeah.
Right? My own book, I put it on Audible simply because I said I wouldn't read my own book. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to listen to it because I'm always shaking and moving it. Grocery store, cleaning up in the house, kids run here. You can go through a whole book in a week.
Listening to it.
listening to it.
Easily.
Easily. It's like,
So I was just
like
like-
an album.
Right. So I'm just like, oh, okay. So trust God. I've always heard that my whole life. You know, all as Christians, all our lives, that's what we've heard. So gotta trust God. All right. Oh, so you're trying to show me something, and you're gonna put me through trials. And okay, so if I come out, I'm gonna get these blessings. So believe in myself. Oh, so you're in me. Okay, so if I go work on me and get me right to the best of the ability, I'm never in competition with Pucci. I'm never in competition with Brian. I'm in competition with myself. Right. And so the faster that I figure out me, and there's multiple me's. It doesn't mean that Jordan just doesn't just do one thing. He's got other areas, right? But we look at him and we're just like, oh my God, you're Jordan. Each one of us are a Jordan in our own respective areas. Because God's not a respecter of persons. So Elam will be the Jordan in relationship coaching. I'm not saying that to be bragging. I'm saying that
That's your lane.
he puts up, that's my lane. I cannot take the ball up the lane and dribble and do my thing. And but this is my lane. You can't tell me nothing different. Because I know me. I thought me was sales.
How long did it take you to figure that out?
Dude, 35 years old before I started figuring that out. I'd be the first person
Life's
to tell
journey,
people that.
right? I mean,
35 years later, I'm just like, oh,
epiphany.
oh, so this is not what I'm supposed to do. But I was taught, go to school, get good grades, get a good job with benefits, and then white dog, you know, the dog with the picket fence and the couple of kids, and you're good. I lived
That's
that
life. That's the highest
And
you can
it's
achieve. That's
super
the
whack.
highest thing you can achieve thing.
The cookie cutter.
It's super whack if you don't know yourself.
So
Right? You're missing out if you think that you can just do this by yourself.
no,
It says in Ecclesiastes that two are better than one. So all the people that are out there that are the single and, you know, independent, or you think that you can never be the best person who you're supposed to be by yourself. If you think I'm lying, then that means you're saying the Bible's lying. That's just for my believers. Not one believer can say anything different because it says it in Ecclesiastes clearly. Two are better than one. What you gonna say?
I ain't got no. I'm not gonna argue with
You know what I'm saying? Like all my believers. Now my non-believers, we can have a separate conversation about the universe and coming together and law of attraction. We can do that too.
Bible still come back to the same thing though.
Law of attraction is get you right
Well,
first.
nature, I think it's symbiotic. If you want to go that route, I think nature's symbiotic. We all rely on each other. You can't get through life by yourself. You can't. On any level, I do believe that you can't go. You can try, but you won't achieve that level of what they quote unquote happiness if you try to make it through by yourself. We rely on each other. We have to rely on each other.
There's no way this show would be as dynamic as it was.
Right.
If it was just me.
or just you.
No, but it goes on to say that you depend on the labor of the other person.
Yes.
Like your labor in your brain is like, okay, it helps over here. Your labor in his brain, it helps over here. That's just with two dudes with a podcast.
Right.
What you think is going to do for your life decision making
Yeah.
from a marriage perspective? Two are better than one.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry, I can go all day on
Please
that
do.
one right there.
Please do. It's unsolicited opinions. We better get some, real ones.
But that's to the men too. But that's the one thing I had a conversation the other day on the Michael and Friends show, and I was just like, from a relationship perspective, women have sex when they want to.
Right.
Men get married when they want to.
Oh.
If you think about
Yeah.
it, stop for a second.
Yes.
You know way more women that want to be married than men.
Exactly.
You know way more men that want to have sex right now. That would
women-
that would drop it like it don't matter and just like, yo, where's she at?
Yeah.
Boom, right?
Right.
So when we want to get married, we get married
Right.
when we want to,
Right.
right? Women, if they want to bone, they got orbiters. They got They got 5 or 6. They
know they can call. Yeah,
I
yeah,
want to
yeah.
have sex right now.
And
if you
they-
pick up the phone right now and call the person who you know that likes you or that you might think that like you or just somebody who you want to bone and say, I want to bone right now.
They're gonna show up.
They might not. As a man.
Oh, it's a man.
If a man says it.
no, a woman. No.
If a man says it, they're gonna be like, I don't even know you like that.
Yeah.
You gotta right? But let a woman pick up the phone.
He gonna. Hey, I'm on my way.
Hello?
Yeah, I'm on my
Okay.
way.
Now, let a man right now that's dating 2 or 3 girls ask any one of them. He's probably gonna go 3-0. At minimum, he gonna go 2-0. If he's talking to 2,
Right.
if he's talking to 3, if he says it to 3, 2 of them gonna say yes.
Right.
He's not gonna get zeros. A man called 3 women right now. He want a bone. He can get 0-3.
Yeah.
He can come up with nobody saying that they want to sleep with you.
Yeah.
But this person. So I just say all that to say that we have to recognize, men, the power that we have in this space. And before we walk down this space, I think it's important for us to understand ourselves. And I think that your purpose and the direction that God has you to go in. And I don't want to get too extra spiritual on it, but I want to make sure that I throw that out there because,
dude.
Well,
yeah.
look, first off, let everybody know how they can get in touch with you.
Actually, you can follow me on Instagram, Elam King, and also on Facebook page that I have as well. You can go to Elam King. You can go to the website, which is Elam King as well. And so you can find my first book, which is Understanding a Man, Empowering Women with Tools for Lasting Relationships. The upcoming book, you won't see it on there yet. That's Memoirs of a Father to a Sin, and that's the men talking to the women. And then one of the things that I'm most proud about is that in May of this year, I released my pre-marriage course called Are We Ready Yet? You can go to areweadyyetcourse.com, because one of the things that I noticed with couples is that the one thing that people call me when it's fourth quarter, 2 minutes left in the game.
You're down
and you're down 20.
Yeah.
And you want
20.
me to take your marriage and win.
Elam Brady.
You know what I'm saying? I got to be Brady every time. I got to be Kobe. I got to be LeBron. All in one with 2 minutes left. And I actually, work to try to do that. But I want to share with people that one of the biggest things that was noticed is that people were not doing pre-marriage counseling. Something as simple. I know we were talking about counseling in the previous show or whatever, but counseling just to where, and see, I can raise my hand. I don't want to, I'm not passing judgment. I only did 30 minutes of pre-marriage counseling. So let's just think about that.
And how did that conversation go? Like, did he ask you anything of substance, or was
by
it
the
kind
time
of like,
we got through good evening and how was your day? That's 15 minutes gone already.
Introduce yourselves.
Did he give you anything of substance? This is any knowledge?
Love him to death, but no. The answer is no.
Right.
And so now looking at this thing called life, I was in a blended family of ultimately 6. My nephew came on board, brought my mother-in-law in to live with us. I'm a blended family of 6. People don't even know that before they get married. If you have a blended family, that's totally different than if you have man, woman, maid, baby.
Right.
Man, woman, maid, baby already can bring up to 70% of the arguments in a home.
Right.
Add blended family to that. You got baby daddy to deal with, baby mama to deal with. You know what I'm saying? You have different leadership styles, right? You might have some animosity. Right. And so you, spouse, are signing up for that animosity.
Right.
You can't say, well, that's your baby mama, so you deal with that. No, you deal with it too.
Right.
Or baby daddy or whatever.
Right.
So, just that if somebody had told me that alone, hey, don't talk to your mother about your marriage.
No, yeah.
Nobody told me.
Yeah.
Like, don't
Actually,
do that.
I think I learned that by default because I talked to my mom about my first little girlfriend and I saw the response I got.
Yeah,
And I
mom
was
is
like,
going to take your side and they're going to get mad.
Yeah.
And that caused like 10
even
years
if
of bad.
then all of a sudden, if you really like the girl, all of a sudden, then you got that.
But you forgave her, but your mama had.
But your mama has, exactly. She's going to treat her like that, too. Exactly.
So chapter 3 of my first book, Just Between Us, was my own personal journey in that because I didn't keep it between. You're married. That means that only your pastor or your best man or maid of honor or a mentor that you guys have both agreed upon, those are the only people who you go to.
Right.
You don't go to your homeboy.
No.
You get married, you no longer can go to Chris. Unless that's designated as a mentor to work with within your family. Right? Because your best man, that maid of honor, they have a job. Their job is to provide guidance. It's like a board of directors. You start a business, what do you want, right?
Right.
Want a board of directors, people to go to.
Right.
That's your best man and maid of honor have a job. But what do? We link up with the same person that we grew up with that has the same ideologies that was effing up right when, and now we might have wanted to go right, but they still effing up.
Sweating up in here.
Okay? That's what we do. And that's not right. You know what I'm saying? And we
Call
all
out.
do it.
Oh,
Your
my
friend that can't
God.
keep a man, that's your maid of honors. That's your counsel for the rest of your marriage?
You killing him, Elam. You killing him.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I know you grew up with her. Put her in your court. She is not your counselor. Okay? If you can't trade places with your best man or maid of honor, you have the wrong best man or maid of honor.
Unsolicited get coming raw. Unsolicited is coming raw with y'all tonight. Yes.
No,
Yeah.
no, I
Hey,
wanna-
if y'all not ready for this, then please just don't listen. But this is the raw.
I want
He
to
giving
thank
it to us raw.
Elam for coming out tonight.
Thank you, sir,
and we're gonna
for
have
giving
you
it
back
to the
on,
people. Oh my God, yes. Oh my God, yes, yes.
especially after the
Because
second book is
after
out.
this episode, people are like, man, y'all, hey,
So after the second book comes
where can
out,
I
Yeah.
get him? Where can I? Because I got problems.
but
hey,
come
talk
early.
to
He don't
him.
want to be Brady.
Yeah, don't come in the fourth quarter with your problems. Reach out in the second quarter before halftime.
Yeah, I
he
do
might,
try
he
to
might
take-
can help you. He might can help you. He might can help you.
But you got to treat your marriage the same way you treat your car.
Here's an analogy. I'm
You
ready.
put oil in your car
Every 3,000 miles.
every 3,000 miles because you know that if you don't do it, your engine will seize and your car will no longer function. Okay, everybody, you've been trained in that aspect. What oil are you pouring into your marriage to allow your marriage not to seize and discontinue?
Oh my God.
What are you doing? What are you reading? All right, what seminars are you going? Remember, family over everything. So you got your car in a consistent way of keeping that in care, but you just want to call your girlfriend when you got problems. You just want to call your boy and complain when you got problems. Where's the oil? Okay, because Jesus flowed the oil to. I'm not even. Let's just,
Oh,
okay.
my
You
goodness.
want to flow the oil to your car for $50, but you don't want to spend $100 or $300 on a course to keep family over everything. Get away from me. It doesn't match. It does not match. Okay? So, I mean, what? Every quarter, every 6 months, are we going to get our marriage engine tuned? No. We're not doing it.
We need to talk about that on the next show.
Oh my
I'm just
God.
saying.
Next show we're gonna talk about engine tune-ups.
Hey,
Marriage engine
relationship
tune-ups.
engine tune-ups in your relationship.
All right, B, take us out.
I'm
We
sorry.
want to thank you for a
God.
great show.
Oh my goodness, that was awesome. They ain't gonna see this one coming. They ain't gonna see this one coming at all.